Today, you guys are going to be you're going to be learning something from this Zoom because this is something that really blew my mind about 3 weeks ago. And by the way, the company has actually been around for the last 49 years. Later, I'll go into the detail on what the company has been doing before. And this product, when did it got involved in this product? And it was launched only about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, less than 1 month ago in Malaysia. And it's just the response in the Malaysian market has just been tremendous. People are, when they see what I'm going to show you today, they're like, wow, their minds were blown. And those people who own an emGuarde already, and they start sharing with their friends and family on the emGuarde, because the company, this business platform, provides a global business opportunity for you to be able to distribute this emGuarde, Malaysia, and also all around the world later on. So today I'll be sharing you two things, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, how do you achieve better sleep, protect yourself from electromagnetic radiation, protect your children, your elderly at home from all these harmful electromagnetic waves. And this is the only patented technology in the market that's able to do it the same way that it does. And secondly, a global business platform that has its roots in 25 countries with more than 40 offices since 1974 today. And this company is from Japan and is here to actually support your growth in this business for those of you who want to actually expand in Malaysia or also overseas to build your business. So there's actually a business opportunity. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be sharing with you my slides. I'm going to go into the first part of today's presentation, which is why this emGuarde is such an important technology, especially in a time like this, where most of us, I believe most of us, we are just bombarded with technology. We have smartphone, we have iPad, we have all these kind of fancy gadgets in our house. And I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, we always buy the newest, best things for our family because we want to enhance the lifestyle, right? We want things to actually make life better, right? Improve the lifestyle. But at the same time, a lot of us, we're unaware of the harms we're also introducing into our homes. Yeah. So introducing Enagic Japan's laser technology. Okay. So let me start the story by talking about this. Now, 20 years ago, if you're one of those people like me, I'm not exactly really old. Yeah, I'm still in my late 20s. But I grew up playing all these rubber bottle cap, outdoor activities. I never had all these electronic devices in my house. I had my first computer maybe when I was 14 or 15 years old. All right. Who here you grew up like this as well? No electronics. Mostly it's natural. You go out there, you play football, or you play all these games. Type me in the chat box if you grew up like this. Yeah, you grew up like this. So this is how we actually grew up. Now today, what happens is kids, some of you are already parents, all right? I have a beautiful, so cute little niece in my house. She's 10 months old. And guess what? At a very young age, we already expose our young ones to already technology, right? Laptop, iPad, and all that. So the question is, do you think these things are actually good for their eyes and brain development? Answer is no. Yeah, so there is actually clinical science and proof that kids, because their skulls are not as developed as us adults, they actually absorb a lot more of this kind of radiation from devices compared to us. And it is a threat. Yeah, it is an invisible threat. Okay, so let's talk about this. So when we talk about pollution around the world, we have water pollution, we have air pollution, we have noise pollution, all kinds of pollution. And currently, there are a lot of solutions behind the first three. However, there is something called the electromagnetic radiation around us from all our devices, where people, you talk about professors in Malaysia, professors in US, Singapore, a lot of academic scientists and professors and even doctors are actually talking about this electromagnetic radiation, harmfulness of it, why you should, what could lead to, what kind of health challenges it can lead to, but nobody is talking about the solution. Today, I'm going to talk about the solution. Because what happens if, when you go back home, and this is all you see in your living room, would you dare to walk inside? Answer is no, right? Because it looks so scary. It's like, what is all these lines? But this is actually how our living room look like, because the electromagnetic waves, they're transparent. It's invisible. You can't see it, but it affects you every single day. So what are the common radiation, or we call it EM radiation sources in our life? Yeah. So we have, of course, our handphone, our laptop, desktop, extension cord, microwave. Who here you use microwave at home? Yeah, type microwave. Wi-Fi, air conditioning, TV, and also power lines. Yeah, so these are things that we're exposed to every day. So a lot of people ask me, Simon, so what kind of radiation is dangerous? What kind of radiation is not so dangerous? So we share with them this wave of spectrum. You can Google this wave of spectrum on Google. You will find it everywhere. Those people who studied physics like myself in school, you understand this wave of spectrum. So there are two types of radiation. There's the ionizing, there's the non-ionizing. An ionizing radiation is extremely dangerous. If you're exposed to it short-term to mid-term, you may even cause DNA mutation, serious health challenges and all that. Yeah, so that is ionizing. So these are very dangerous ones. Now, we're exposed to most devices around us called the non-ionizing radiation. Now, in the short term, there's actually not much of harmful, effects. But science have proven, and doctors have written lots of articles, prolonged exposure to non-ionizing radiation in between 3 to 1000 megahertz can lead to a lot of health challenges. Why? Because the human body, look at the two sentences below of the slide, the human body actually absorbs radio frequency energy, short form for radiation, okay, at some frequencies more effectively than others, at a range of 30 to 300. So the body actually absorbs 30 to 300 megahertz most effectively. It belongs to the non-ionizing range or wave of spectrum. Okay, so our body absorbs a lot of it. And why is that a problem? All right, because according to the FCC, all right, our body, brain, heart, liver, pancreas, our organs themselves have a frequency. Now take a look at the frequency of our organs and our body. You are talking about anywhere between 55 to 90 megahertz. So this 55 to 90 megahertz, it falls in between the range of 30 to 300 where the body absorbs the most. And if we go back the slide by one time, most of our electronic devices, the gadgets, the phone, the power line, the radio, all these things actually belong to the lower range that is actually our bodies absorbing the most. So what happens is this. This is what we call the resonance theory. So how does it affect us? Okay, so this is actually a scientist right here. So he has two tuning forks. This is to show you that a lot of people ask me, okay, how about the slightly higher frequencies? Does the body absorb it? Answer is yes. The body also, of course, absorb it. But the body absorbs 30 to 300 most effectively according to the FCC in the US. Now, when you take a tuning fork that has a higher frequency, higher hertz, okay, 512 hertz, now it doesn't affect the 440 hertz tuning fork. Therefore, you don't see anything. But when you take the same frequency, same wavelength, okay, tuning fork, when you hit it, it affects the other tuning fork because it is at the same frequency. So what happens when the devices around you, electronic devices around you, emits frequencies similar to our body? This is what the World Health Organization says, that radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans based on an increased risk for glioma, which is a malignant type of brain cancer. Now, this was not recently, this was many years ago. This was based in 31st May 2011. Yeah, so increased risk of brain cancer. Now, what did Dr. Magda Haver say? She's a Canadian researcher and professor. She researches in the areas of environmental and health effects of electromagnetic pollution. Her work focused on the biological effects of EMR, for short, electromagnetic radiation. We call it EMR. Can somebody type EMR in the chat box? Because we're going to be using this term very frequently. So when you're exposed to high EMR, what happens to your blood? Now, healthy red blood cell looks something like this in the chart, yeah? You can see the picture. It's free-flowing. A healthy red blood cell is free-flowing. 70 minutes of computer usage, immediately something called the rouleau formation forms, which means the blood starts to stack, the red blood cells starts to stack on top of each other. Basically, your blood circulation slows down, okay? Rouleau formation. 10 minutes of wireless phone usage, you can see the rouleau formation has gotten even worse. And according to Dr. Magda Havers, the rouleau formation she sees in the blood samples of the test subjects after using the phone that is like that, it is similar to the blood formation of her cancer patients. After using the mobile phone for 10 minutes, and when she tests the rouleau formation of our blood, it is similar to the blood formation of her cancer patients. Is that scary, ladies and gentlemen? If that is scary, maybe type number 1 in the chat box. Because although this rouleau formation doesn't stay in the body for a long time, because once you stop using the phone, then the blood slowly goes back to the healthy red blood cell. But what happens is, today, we don't just use our phone for 10 minutes. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? How many minutes do you think we use our phone? In fact, there's an app on your phone you can download. Those iPhone, it already comes with it. They actually track how many hours do you actually spend on the phone. And the average adult spends about 5 to 6 hours of their day on their mobile phone. Whether directly, listening to song, talking on the phone, or messaging. It's 5 to 6 hours, the average adult. It's crazy. Yeah, 10 minutes already costs this. Okay? So we know the threat of it. So the symptoms of long-term exposure. So what is dangerous? So this chart, you can see on the top, there is this colorful range, right? This colorful thing that shows you some numbers and some symbols. So the number goes from 0 all the way up to 2000. Now, what is that symbol? That stands for microwatts per centimeter square. So this measurement, which I'm going to share with you a video, we use actually a radiation detector. It is able to actually measure the power intensity of the radiation source. Now, if it's showing 0 to 200, it is slightly dangerous. Anything above 200 to 1000 is really considered dangerous. 1000 to 1005 is very dangerous. Above 1005 and beyond is considered a health hazard. And it may lead to body pain, concentration problem, especially for kids, brain cancer, memory loss, fatigue, dizziness, heart problem, infertility, headache, migraine, soreness, immune system problem. Who here, you sleep very well at night? Type 1. No problem sleeping 1. You sleep all the way through, nothing bothers you, you don't wake up, you know, and all that. You have very, very deep sleep, perfect sleep. Type 1 in the chat box. Who here, all right, I'm talking about before the emGuarde. Who here, before the emGuarde, you wake up every 2 to 3 hours, like me? Check the phone, go toilet, and sleep again, sleep again. So if you're like me, type 2. Before the emGuarde, I'm talking about those of you who have not installed your emGuarde yet. Type 2, if you have break in your sleep. You have break in your sleep. Yeah, if you have break in your sleep. A lot of us, I can tell you. Okay, so let me just share with you a video. Okay, I'm going to play a video. Let me just stop sharing this screen first. Fantastic. I'm going to be playing a video for you guys. I'm going to be playing 2 videos now. Okay, the first video is a video shot by one of my partners, Mr. David Chang. And this video, what you will see is, you will see my partner that gone back to his old house in OUG in KL. OUG is a Tamana in KL. And he has actually gone back there to check the, what do you call that? The radiation source, because he was very near to the power line of his house was very near to the power line. Okay, so I'm going to share the video. All right, share screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see a video, right? Cool. So this is shot by my partner, David. Okay. So he will narrate in the video.
This is where I used to live. And across the road, less than 100 meters.
So it's about 80 meters
high tension
away from a power line. Can you guys hear the audio well? If you can hear, just
very high density of electric field intensity. So currently, if you notice, right, when I turn on the detector, as you can see, the entire airspace around my house is 1500 microwatts. Now this direction is where the high tension cable is not behind the ring, so there is nothing there. But once I move the detector towards the high tension cable, if you notice, the reading is between 1800 microwatts to 2000 microwatts steadily.
Yep. So I hope you guys can hear the video, because my speaker is not so good on my computer. So Thanks, Samantha. So basically, he lived. There's his old house. He no longer stays there. He was renting when his family came down from Penang years ago. It was this is a taman. If you look at the jalan, you know already, right? The road was in OUG, and they were quite near the high tension wire. And what happened was, his mother. Now, this is not to say anything because we want to be diplomatic. His mother actually died of brain cancer, and they suspect it was because of the certain area that they were staying in. So that was what prompted him to get involved in emGuarde, because when he brought the detector back to his old house, my God, it is 80 meters away, and it was measuring 1,800 microwatts, which is what, according to the slide, let me just bring back the slide, it is very, very high. Yeah, because anything actually above, anything above 1,000 microwatts is already considered a health hazard. Let me go back to the slide. Yeah. Okay, where's the slide? Yeah, this one. So anything above 1,000, all right, 500 is already considered a health hazard. Okay, so this is why we need to really get the radiation detector. If you don't have it, speak to somebody that has it, somebody that invited you. Go to your house, start to check your LED lights, start to check your air conditioning, start to check your flooring for those of you who stay in condominium, because why? Your downstairs neighbor's electric cable is all on their ceiling, which is your floor. Yeah, so basically you need to check everywhere. Where's your DB box? Where's the television? How much radiation is it coming off? And let me tell you this, every home has a ton of EMR. As long as you have air conditioning, you have LED lights, you have mobile phone, you have laptop, you have TV, microwave, induction cooker, you have EMR exposure. All right, it depends how long. So this is actually something that is done by Dr. Liu Renjie. Now, for those of you who suffers from poor eyes or dry eyes, this is a very, very important slide. I'm somebody that also suffers from astigmatism, yeah, or Chinese we call it san guang, right? Because EMR actually has a lot to do with bad eyesight. Okay, so Dr. Liu, he's from Hongming Ophthalmology in Taiwan. You can Google his center. It's a real center. It's there. He's the president there. And what he has done is, take a look at this. There is first stage, second stage, and third stage. Now, the first stage, he calls it the ophthalmic artery hemodynamic measurement indicator. So it's something to do with the eye. Now, the first stage is he actually took 10 people and he measured the microcirculation of their eyeball, the blood circulation. Now, these 10 people measured a 20.1 PSV, peak systolic velocity. Now, let me do it more in a layman term. Means the blood flow of the eyeball is 20.1 centimeter per second. The blood flow, that's how fast it was. The second stage was he got all of them to use the phone for 30 minutes. Guess what? The blood flow dropped to 16.2. So it dropped by 20%, the eyeball microcirculation. Now, this is already tested, experimented. Third stage is he turned on the emGuarde to alleviate electromagnetic radiation. Guess what happened to the blood circulation? It went up to 25.9 centimeter per second. So the blood flow of the eyeballs, or the average of the 10 people, improved even before usage of the phone, stage 1, because stage 1 is 20.1. Now stage 3 is 25.9. So some people ask, wow, Simon, how come after you turn on the emGuarde, the microcirculation even better than before using the phone? Question is very simple. Because in that area itself, I'm sure the phone is not the only EMR source. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? There could be lights, there could be electric cable, there could be TV, there could be air conditioning. So these are all EMR sources. So it actually alleviates all of it. Because how the emGuarde actually works, it is a harmonizer. It harmonizes medium to high frequency. It defends your family, and it is a low maintenance product. And later I'll show you a video on how this emGuarde actually works and what is the range of defense. It has an 8 meter of defense, diameter 8 meters, up and down, left and right. So it's like a sphere. So when you on an emGuarde and you put it into your home, it's designed to reduce the negative effects of EM wave of 8 meters of defense. So most of your homes, ladies and gentlemen, depending on how big a house you have, some of you are staying in massive houses, bungalows and all that, you may need more than 1 unit, maybe 2 units or 3 units of emGuarde in your house. So you have to go and test it out yourself. So how does the emGuarde actually work? So I've shot a very short video. And by the way, those of you who want access to the materials, right, you can actually have access to it from our Telegram group. Later, I will share the link here. Okay, I will share the link here. So now I want to share you the video on how the emGuarde actually works. Yeah, so on the Telegram group, you'll be able to have access to all my videos. Okay, all the slides, everything, no problem. We normally just share it there. Later, I will send the link. Okay, so here we go. So this is a video where I have made. There we go. This is how the emGuarde works. All right, so for those of us who are constantly on our mobile phones, on our laptop, let's test how much radiation we're actually exposed to. All right, so I'm going to use my radiation detector. So the phones are emitting tremendous amounts of radiation. This means it's all right. 2000. And let's look at our laptops. Equally bad as well. Once all right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to plug in the emGuarde by Enagic. Okay, just like that. So it's turned on now, and we're going to go back to the phone. Zero. It is completely zero, and the laptop is zero as well when the emGuarde is turned on. So currently now my entire space here is without any harmful radiation with emGuarde. So change your environment, change your life. That's just my short video, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works. When you turn it on, and if you're within the coverage range, all right, if you're within the coverage range, you get protected. Okay, now how does the emGuarde technology actually work? So we know we want to stay away from radiation. All right, and we know. So what happens is this. This is a simple chart or simple animation on how the emGuarde works. So once the emGuarde is turned on, the emGuarde actually has a sensor inside to start to analyze the coverage area, the 8-meter diameter. Okay. So let's say your friend, your family member walks into the coverage range with a typical EM radiation source like a phone. Now, for the radiation on the phone to get to you, it must have a pathway, right? Energy must have a pathway to travel. Okay. So when the emGuarde picks it up, what happens is the second chart, okay, when it picks it up, at this point, the emGuarde actually sends out a cancellation frequency, or we call it an opposing or harmonics frequency, to break the pathway of the EM radiation source, which means the power intensity, just now I show you, right? 200 microwatts, 1000 microwatts, 2000 microwatts, and all that. The power intensity that is within this pathway does not have an access to you anymore because the pathway has been broken by the cancellation frequencies. So the patented technology of emGuarde comes here, where it is the only product in the market right now in Malaysia and also globally that is able to send out cancellation frequencies to break the pathway of the EM radiation sources. Now, there are certain things in the market you can buy, like very expensive crystals or whatever, that is designed to absorb radiation. But how much does it absorb and how do you measure it is very difficult. It's quite difficult. Yeah, how much does it absorb? Where's the meter? You know, can we measure it? But with emGuarde, you're actually able to use the meter, put it onto a radiation source. It shows 1000 microwatts, 800 microwatts. And when the emGuarde is turned on, as long as it's within the coverage range, it breaks it off. So thus reducing the electric field intensity within its coverage range. That's why when the emGuarde is turned on, you see zero coming out from the phone. All right. So that is the technology, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That's how much the manufacturer can let us know on. In simple terms, it is a cancellation frequency. So then, gentlemen, this is where I would like to do a summary of what I've just presented. That this emGuarde, our slogan is change your environment, change your life, because places where we spend most time here today, we are all surrounded by LED lights, laptop, and all that. So it is no longer a choice for us to say, okay, let me try to reduce using my phone, reduce using laptop. We can't. We have to live with it. I sold to a customer 2 days ago, and he says, I asked, do you charge your phone in your room? He said, yes. I said, why not you charge it in your living room? He said, I can't do that, Simon, because my business, my work, my employees are 24/7. I'm on the phone all the time. I can't change it. They need me. So these are things that we can't change. But then when I introduced emGuarde to him, he said, wow, I can continue my lifestyle and I can turn on this emGuarde so that I'm protected from my phone and all my devices. So this is a solution, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So the retail price, if you want to make a one-time payment, is at 6,620 ringgit. However, the beautiful thing about the partnership with Enagic is actually offering an installment plan of also all the way up to 24 months, which leaves you with a payment of only 276 ringgit a month. So if you break that down, right, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about less than 9 ringgit a day. Nowadays, you can go to Starbucks or go anywhere. You're already spending 15 ringgit or even more than that for a cup of coffee. I don't know, if you go to somewhere even cheaper, maybe you can get 10 ringgit coffee, but it doesn't exist anymore. Everything now is above 10 ringgit. So the value proposition here is this. Do you feel that with 9 ringgit a day is worth it to protect yourself, your kids, your elderly at home from potential risk of electromagnetic radiation? I say potential risk because why? A lot of people say, Simon, I've been using this joker here for last so many years already. I'm still alive, ma. No problem, ma. Right? I still can walk, I still can talk. I don't have any damage and all that. Answer is of course. And we'll continue to live, and you may even continue to live a very healthy and long life. But the thing is this, if there is a product in the market now, which is patented and brand new, that is able to help you alleviate or protect you from any potential risk for 9 ringgit a day, would you consider it? If the answer is yes, please speak to the person that invited you to this Zoom to get your hands on your emGuarde devices for your house. Some of you may need more than one. Speak to the person that invited you. Secondly is the lifespan of this product is not just 1 year, 2 years you throw away. You know, you buy a phone nowadays, 2 years, 3 years you throw away. The minimum lifespan of the emGuarde is 5 years and more. Yeah. So if you look at 5 years, let's talk about the bare minimum 5 years, is not even 3 ringgit a day. Yeah. So the thing is, the question goes back to, is my sleep, my health, and my children's brain development and eyesight and all this kind of stuff we have just discussed worth 3 ringgit a day? You buy 2 emGuarde, it's 6 ringgit a day. You buy 3 emGuarde, it's only 9 ringgit a day in the next 5 years. All right. So this is the value proposition of emGuarde. I personally have already bought 2 emGuarde. I'm looking to buy my 3rd and 4th one because I need one whenever I travel in the car, and I may need one more in my house as well. So I'm looking to buy another 2 more units. I already own 2. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the end of my first session of today's Zoom meeting. I want to ask everybody a question, especially the new people. Yeah, just now we knew there's a lot of new people. Who here you actually see a lot of value in able to protect your family from all these electromagnetic waves in your house? Type value in the chat box. If you believe this product has tremendous value to help people achieve better sleep, alleviate potential risks, improving the eyesight, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. By the way, if you look at this, 6,620 ringgit, but most of us, we go for installment because it's interest free. But even if you go for one-shot payment, you know today, how much is a new iPhone 14? Anybody? Now is it 14 or 15? I also forget already. How much is it? How much is a new iPhone nowadays? How much is the phone? Ringgit Malaysia or US dollar? Anybody familiar? The last phone I bought was iPhone 11. Many years ago, it cost me 4,000 ringgit already. How much is a brand new iPhone? I fix it 3566. Is it so cheap? To my knowledge, if you want to get the bigger memory and all that, it's already above 5,000 if you want to get a good phone. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we're already spending this kind of money on gadgets that's actually emitting radiation. And now you have an option to get something that can actually alleviate the radiation from your house. So to me, it is a no-brainer. And I leave the decision up to you on whether you want to get your emGuarde or not. But chances are, if you don't get today, you will get it later on as well. All right. So today is a sharing session. I hope we've gotten value from my first session. Because now I'm going to go into my second session. What is my second session? As I promised you, I am here to also share with you how you can actually own an emGuarde or maybe even 2 emGuardes and make it free for yourself. Who here would like to have free emGuardes? Type free in the chat box. Who here would like to have free emGuardes? Free. You go to Apple, no free iPhone. You go to Samsung, no free Galaxy. Everything must pay one. Okay. So you see, when I say free things, everybody start to type already. Everybody start to get very participative. Okay. Now, of course, we are not here to give any free things out. But why I start with that is because you have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to own an emGuarde today. And just by referring your friends and family to come onto this Zoom that we do it every Wednesday night, or the live sessions we do it in our office in Mid Valley. By the way, our office is in Mid Valley. And when those people start to buy the emGuarde through your referral, the company actually pays you a referral commission. So all you need to do is to refer about 12 to 15. I need to do some calculation. Let's say 15. 15 emGuardes to some of your friends and family. Your emGuarde is already free. Is that good, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, and average one house, normally they will buy 2 emGuarde. So 15 emGuardes is probably about 7 to 8 families. And your own emGuarde is already free. And the best thing is, there's no time frame and there's no additional cost you have to incur to be part of the business. So I'm going to go into my second part on how you can not just own your emGuarde for free and also do this business nationwide, or some of you even globally. So there's a huge market to it. So let me introduce to you Enagic. Now, Enagic, they are a 49-year-old Japanese company that is a certified medical device manufacturer. The company has been making medical device water ionization machines for the last 40 years. And they have 25 countries with 42 locations. The latest office they have opened up was the Nigerian market. Yeah, I was the one that went to Nigeria, spent about 8 months to open up the Nigerian market as well. So the company has actually opened up so many offices around the world. It's a global billion-dollar company. And we're so lucky, Malaysians, and next will be Singapore, all right, to be able to have this emGuarde being the first market to have it. All right, so Enagic is a very, very credible company, and they have decided to take on the global distribution of emGuarde. Now, the beautiful thing about this business is you have 40 over offices in 20 over countries around the world that you can actually do this business, which means you can actually recruit resellers or other distributors in these countries. Okay, and how does the business actually work? Now, as long as you own one of Enagic's products, all right, in our Zoom today, we talk about emGuarde, you're already in the business for life. Huh? There is no monthly qualification. There is no stocks you have to keep. There is no renewals. Every sale you do is accumulated. You can sell to anybody around the world because it is borderless sponsoring. The compensation plan is patented, and emGuarde just launched 3 weeks ago. It's an untapped market. Yeah. So if you talk about you want to market a product, you want to market a device, you want to market something that the market has not seen before. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know if I'm making sense to you. You don't want to be marketing something that this company is also doing it, that company is also doing it. Now we are the only ones doing this. Untapped market. So that's the big money here. That's why I've basically volunteered myself to be running these Zooms every weekend. Every week on Wednesday. So how does it actually work? Now, you can bring in all your customers, and the company calls it a direct sale. Now, a direct sale means when you sell to somebody, let's say A sell to B, company pays you a commission. Very straightforward, yeah? But the beautiful part about the Enagic system is when your customer buys the emGuarde, they get deep sleep. They enjoy this device in their home. They buy a few more even, and they refer their friends to buy emGuarde from them. You get something called indirect sales. Okay, so you have direct sales, which you earn commissions, and you have indirect sales, which you also earn commissions. And the total of these two, the company calls it group sales. And by the way, this compensation model that I'll be sharing with you has already been running since the 90s. So it's coming to close to 30 years this model has been running. So it's not something new for those of you who are joining us for the first time. And Enagic is a member of the Direct Selling Association of Malaysia and also many other countries. So Enagic is a legitimate direct selling company. Yeah. So how does the compensation plan work? Now, Enagic employs a patented compensation model called the 8A or 8-point commission. Now, this is very easy to understand. The emGuarde, okay, now what happens is the emGuarde, okay, the company allocates a budget of every unit to be actually shared among the distributors. So what is their marketing budget? Let me ask you this question. What do you think is the marketing budget of electronic products in the market? How many percent? Let's say you buy a aircon, you buy a washing machine, you buy a fan. What do you think is the marketing budget for those devices? How many percent? What do you think? Yeah, because I've spoken to many people, I have the average answer. Yeah. What do you think is the marketing budget for the average electronic devices, mobile phone, air con, and all that. How many percent? Is it 30%? Is it 40%? Is it 50%? Is it 60%? Is it 80%? Is it 90%? How many percent? Samantha says 20, 30%. Any other answers? So please participate with me on this. What do you think is the marketing budget, the cost of marketing, distribution, supply chain that goes into all these products in the market? So Adam says 40%. Okay, Lawrence said 25%. Afiq said 30 to 40%. Yeah, so today I have actually had the privilege of speaking to the I've known about this. Somebody came to our office today. She was the ex-chairman for a Japanese brand. Can't mention the brand. Very, very big Japanese brand. She tells us that the marketing expenditure for her electronic devices, which is mostly like fan, washing machine, and all that, is way above 50%, which means the cost of the product is so much, the profit is, and the majority of it is going to the distribution chain. Why? They need to spend on marketing so that the product can go onto the market. They need to have big billboards. Now, what does Enagic do? Enagic cuts out all the middlemen. They take their marketing budget of 2,400 ringgit per sale. You can calculate what is the percentage on that, and they give it back to you and I. Is that a better system? Is this even better than those systems out there where those big boys make it? We don't get to make it. We are just consumers. We are the ones paying for the marketing, right? But in Enagic, we are the ones benefiting from the marketing. So who here feels that this system is even better for people like myself and yourself? Type 1. Yeah? So the 2,400 ringgit allocation is divided into 8 parts, or we call it 8 A's. Okay? Now, 2,004 you divide by 8, you get 1 A is 300 ringgit. Malaysia. So how does it actually work? Now today you sign up, you enroll yourself to become a distributor. How do you do that? You go and get yourself minimum 1 emGuarde, and you are already a member of this business for life. You're classified as a distributor with the company for life, yeah? And your first and second sale that you make, the company already pays you a 1A commission of 300 and 300. So those of you who are buying this emGuarde on installment, guess what? Your first month, all you have to pay is 275 ringgit. But on your first sale, you're already making 300 ringgit. Your second sale, you make another 300 ringgit, which means if you only sell 1 unit a month, you're already covering your installment, which is a no-brainer. Okay? Now, once you go to 2A, now it's even better because now you make double the money, 600 ringgit. You sell 1 emGuarde, 2 months of your installment gets settled. So most of our distributors and our team members, right, they don't pay for their products. They buy the product, and genuinely good products that they benefit, they share. It is the commissions, it is the company that subsequently pays for the product via the commission. How beautiful was that? So all of us, we stand a chance to earn free emGuardes. Yeah, we buy it first and then we earn it back. And it's so simple. Okay, so the next rank is 3A, where you start to earn 900 ringgit per emGuarde. So how do you get to 3A? You must first achieve 10 group sales. Now, 10 group sales mean it is from your direct and also the indirect. Yeah. So let's say an average home buys 2 emGuardes from you. So you're looking at about 5 homes or 5 customers or 5 friends that buys the emGuarde. You already have about 10 group sales, right? If average, they buy 2 each. So after that, you rank up to 3A, which means every unit you sell, you make 900 ringgit Malaysia, which is pretty good. Yeah. And then once you hit 20 cumulative group sales, the word is cumulative. So you have 10 already. When you go to 20 is another 10. And then every emGuarde you sell after that as a 4A, company pays you 1,200 ringgit margin. So imagine if you sell 10 emGuarde consistently every month as a 4A. What is your income, ladies and gentlemen? Can somebody type out the commission in the chat box? Just as a 4A, you're not even at the highest rank now. You sell average of 10 emGuarde a month. What is your commission? How much money would you make? If every emGuarde you sell, you make 1,002. Sell 10, you make, how much is that? Let me open the chat. Exactly. Thank you, Samantha, Lawrence. 12,000 ringgit. Is that good income or not? And bear in mind, your customers can pay on installment. You get your commission within 2 weeks because the installment is all on credit card, right? The company has already received the money. They're already able to issue the commissions. So take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is serious business. And how much did it cost you to start the business? 1 emGuarde. So many businesses out there where people pour in, I don't know, 100,000 ringgit, 200,000 ringgit, 500,000 ringgit, and they don't even get a return on their investment at the end of the day. But with emGuarde, it is so beautiful. And after 50, now you rank up to even 5A. So even more commission, 1,500 every unit. And once you hit above 200 emGuarde cumulative group sales, now you're ready for the highest rank in the company, which is 6A, which means every emGuarde you sell then onwards, you're going to be making 1,800 ringgit Malaysia. Which means if you were to sell 10 emGuarde consistently every month, 18,000 ringgit. Now, bear in mind, this 18,000 ringgit from 10 sales, no staff, no stocks, no stress, no rent to pay, no nothing. No, you don't have to come up with the money to buy the stocks. You just sell the product and company pays you commission. How beautiful is that? And don't forget, you can sell to anybody around the world. So if you have friends in Philippines, if you have friends in Indonesia, you can also sell to them. Yeah, so it's a global business. So it's just so beautiful to be part of a business that Enagic takes care of the headache part of the business. You focus on the sales and marketing. So this is what the Enagic business is all about. Now, I'm going to share with you the second slide, which is the last slide before we conclude tonight's Zoom. And after we conclude tonight's Zoom, that's where you make a decision whether you want to be part of the family or not. You know, because I truly believe that when now there's 70 of us on this Zoom, a lot of us, we are going somewhere. Do you want to tag along and follow us? That is what we're going to be asking for. Okay. So when you bring in your sales, your first 3 sales, remember it is 300, 300, and 600. Now, what happens when you bring in a customer? He also wants to become a distributor like yourself. Now, let's say the person is Tom. Now, Tom goes out and he starts selling the emGuarde to his friends, his network, his contacts, and he starts to sell emGuarde, every emGuarde. And every emGuarde he sells, the company actually pays him and also pays you 300 ringgit Malaysia again. Can you see that? This is actually your overriding bonus and it goes many levels down. How many levels down? I'll cover in the next few animations. But basically, you can have a person like Tom that is, let's say he sells 10 units of emGuarde a month. It generates you about 3,000 ringgit every month from one distributor. Now, what happens if Alex also sells 10 units a month, another 3,000 ringgit? What happens if Grace, Polly, Arthur, all these people start to sell 10 units of emGuarde a month? You just take that times 300 ringgit. You get extra 3,000 ringgit per distributor you have under you. This is the beautiful part of this business. You can not just build the business yourself, you can also bring your friends inside to build it with you. Now, let's say now you sign up somebody on your 2A. Now you make 600 ringgit. And guess what? Let's say this person also starts to do the business. But because she's under your 2A, every emGuarde she sells, the company actually pays you double the money as overriding commission. Who here you love overriding commission? Type OC in the chat box, overriding commission. Type OC. Because overriding commission means what? It is not an active income. Huh? It is something called a leverage income. You build a team of distributors locally, globally, you know, any way you want, different state also boleh. And when they start to develop the business and understand that this is an independent business, those people you bring in, they are also self-motivated to go out and sell the emGuarde because they are getting commission, you are getting commission. It's not like they work for you. You don't even need to pay them anything. But every unit they sell, you make 600 ringgit or 300 ringgit. So this is what we call overriding commission. And after you have achieved 10 group sale, what you want to do? You want to open up another line. Now, this line after 10 group sale is your 3A line. And every sale generated from the 3A line, you get paid 900, 900, 900, 900. So what happens in May? Let's say May is in Johor Bahru, sells 10 units of emGuarde in her first month. How much money do you make when May sells 10 units? How much do you make if May sells 10 units? RM, 9,000 ringgit, am I right? Who here feels like this is amazing business to be in? Who here is going to give you 9,000 ringgit, ladies and gentlemen, overriding commission? Who here is going to give you? Enagic is going to give you if you build the system and you share the beautiful thing about emGuarde and the benefits of emGuarde. Yeah. So all the sales below your 2A distributors, you keep on getting 600 ringgit all the way until a certain level. Remember, Enagic does not over or underpay distributors. If Enagic overpay distributors, what's going to happen to the company? They're not going to last 49 years. Come on. They're here for 49 years because they have a system that they follow to make sure that they are profitable, we are profitable, and the company is going to be here for a very, very long time. So the 8-point system works like this. Now, when Don buys a machine, we know there's 8 points to be paid out from Don's machine, Don's emGuarde. John is the first person to get the commission, which is a 1A commission, okay, or 1 point, because it is his first sale. Now, the second person to get paid a commission is the person that introduced John, right? Which is Bob. How much money does Bob make? Any response in the chat box? How many points do they make? 1 point or 2 points? Exactly. Thank you, Samantha. Bob makes points. Okay. Bob makes 2 points. Okay. Somebody's mic is unmuted. 1 second. Okay. Thank you. I have just disallowed anybody to unmute themselves. Okay. Just to make sure there's no disturbance. Okay. So Bob makes 2 points because John is under his 2A. Now above Bob, it is Ani. Ani makes another 2 points. And the next person also makes 2 points. So if you look at this, right, from Don's machine, there is 8 points. 1 point goes to John, 2 points to Bob, Ani 2 points. The next person also 2 points. So guess how many points is left? Just calculate. 1 point is left for you on the top. So total, if you add up the blue circles, it is 8 points. So for Don's emGuarde all the way down there, you may not even know who Don is, by the way. You still get 300 ringgit. Is that good business, ladies and gentlemen? If it's good, type number 1 in the chat box. Because it's so many levels away from you, you still get paid commission. John sells the second unit, he still makes 300 ringgit. What happens when John sells the third unit? How many points does John make now? Response from the crowd. So when John sells the third unit, how much does he make? How many points? 2 points, right? So John will make 2 points. Bob make 2 points. Ani make 2 points. Kim make 2 points. Now, can you see when this happened, the total 8 points has been paid to the distributors below you. And therefore, this is what we call the non-8A sale, or we call it the cut-off point. So you only get paid until this level for the 8 point commission. But bear in mind, if you're in the company long enough, build your team strong enough, the company has many other leadership bonus to pay out as well. Yeah, but today we're not going to go into that. Question is this. Going back to this person, Kim. Kim sold to Ali, Abu, and Ani started going crazy and developing her team. Do you think Kim will stop at 3 people, or do you think Kim will continue bring more people? Which one? Stop or continue? She'll be a fool to stop, right? Because her team is growing and she has group sales more than 10. When she brings in the next person, she'll be 3A or 4A. Same thing with you. So what you want to do is to continue to grow your distribution network. And once you sign up people under your 4A, now every sale they sell, you make 1,200 ringgit. Imagine having a person like Tony, every month is giving you 10 sales, 12,000 ringgit. You have another person under your 4A in Selangor, every month 10 unit, giving you another 12,000. You have another person in Penang, also selling 10 unit, giving you another 12,000. Yeah? So this is how you actually scale your income. You bring as many distributors as possible, train them, give them the necessary tools, educate them, bring them onto our trainings, our Zooms. That's how they actually get started. Yeah? And let's say after 5 years, you bring me in Simon. Simon sells 10 unit of emGuarde in the month of June. How much money does the company pay you? How much ringgit Malaysia? Anybody? Type the answer in the chat box. Simon sell 10. How much company pay you? How much? What's the answer? Anybody? No answer so far? Calculating? No need to calculate, right? 1,500 ringgit times 10. Yeah? 15,000 ringgit. Yeah, that's right. And once you achieve 6A, every single distributor you bring in is going to be under your 6A sponsorship, which means every unit they sell, you make 1,800 ringgit. Of course, when it goes down and down and down, the amount goes from 1,008 to 1,005, 1,002, 900, 600, 300, and ultimately also 0 when it hits a certain level. Yeah? Please understand that this is not one of those money game Ponzi schemes out there. This is a legitimate direct selling business where people are in here, genuinely learning about the technicalities of the product, going out there, building a team of resellers, training them, motivating them, and spread their team all across the nation and also across the countries. Okay? So this is the emGuarde business, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stress more on how beautiful this opportunity is. Malaysia is the first market to be able to get our hands on this emGuarde, where the rest of the 40 branches in the world are still waiting for it. And if you don't have your emGuarde yet, get your emGuarde. If you're worried about the cost, don't worry about it. As long as you can bring in about 10 to 15 sales in the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, you don't even have to worry about the cost. Just go and do some calculation up until which emGuarde you'll get your money back already. Yeah. And if you're seriously dedicating yourself to build this business with the person that invited you into this Zoom room here today, let me tell you this, there are a lot of money to be made from this business.